Time now for your Old Spice Fresh Stats. And how about this? How good has Chris Sale been over the course of his career? Well, nobody's been better in terms of striking out batters per 9. 11.1 strikeouts per 9 innings tops in Major League history. That is the pitcher the Mets are facing tonight. Mets, Braves. Series finale with the Mets looking for the sweep. Gary and Keith coming up on the other side.
For his 15th start of the season, trying to throw a few more strikes, get a few fewer foul balls so he can get deeper into a game. Here is the Hyundai starting lineup he'll face. Drake Baldwin will lead off for the 28th time this year. His OPS as leadoff hitter this year is over 1,000. Mike Yastrzemski first start of the series. Jim Jarvis at shortstop. After Dubon played there in the first game, Dubon moves out to left. Acuna will DH. And there's Christian.
And there's his Toyota numbers. And he got a little betrayed by the defense in his last start against the Brewers. If you remember, that 3-run second inning, he was 1 out away from getting out of it with no runs. And as it turned out, the ball was misplayed in right field and 3 runs scored. And that was the difference in the ball game. And here is your Genesis Metropolitan defense. Tyrone Taylor red hot, also getting a good look-see for the trade deadline in left field. Robert in center. And Eric Wagaman gets a start at first base.
By the way, if you don't recognize the voice, that's Keith. He took the first game off. We have him back in the fold now, ready to go, raring to go.
Well, I don't know about raring.
You're the only guy who hasn't worked all day. Now it's your turn. You have to shine. You have to carry the broadcast.
I'm rested. You're the one I'm worried about. You're aging, and you've got to do 2.
I'm not as aging as fast as you are. That's for certain. Drake Baldwin will lead off. Baldwin 3 for 8 in the series. Christian Scott ready to go. And the night game is underway. And the first pitch lined into left center for a base hit for Baldwin. Over comes Taylor to get it, and Baldwin has his 4th hit in the series, a leadoff single on Scott's first pitch of the night.
Well, it doesn't matter who leads off for the Braves. Acuna jumps on the first pitch all the time, and now Baldwin right here gets a fastball up in the strike zone, away, outer half, hits it where it's pitched. He's red hot.
So now Acuna hitting second in the order, DHing in the nightcap, playing right field this afternoon. And fastball catches the inside corner for a strike, 0-1.
The only reason why he didn't swing because he was tied up by that fastball in the inside corner. He wanted to swing.
Acuna 1 for 7 in this series, just his 3rd game back from the injured list after missing 38 games with a hamstring injury. And he flies this one out to right center field. Playable for Robert or Benj, and it's Benj to call and catch for the first out of the night. So the Braves going aggressively after Scott. And this is an opponent that probably works better for Scott. The Milwaukee team that he faced last Wednesday was very patient. They took a lot of pitches, ran a lot of deep counts, a lot of foul balls. That forced him to throw 89 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. This Braves team is much more aggressive. There's Olsen, who homered in the first game of the doubleheader. His only hit in this series, and he swings and misses at a first pitch fastball.
Well, he got a pitch where he likes it. He's really a one-zone hitter, Gare, much like, I can't think of the name right now, but he likes that low ball, and it's like every swing he takes is spit out of a computer. If you get that ball wasting down, that's right into his wheelhouse.
And Scott runs one inside and gets ahead 0-2. Christian is making his 24th career start. In each of the first 23, he's allowed 4 runs or fewer. First man in history, only the 6th pitcher in modern baseball history ever to go his first 23 starts in the big leagues without allowing more than 4 runs. 0-2 to Olsen with Michael Harris on deck. And Olsen down on 3 pitches. All fastballs from Scott. And he's got his first strikeout of the night.
Oh, that was what happened to Olson in his first at bat in the opener. This doubleheader got blown away, but he keeps cranking. And if you make a mistake, he can put a hurt on you. What was his 26th home run he hit? He's one of the 28, excuse me, one of the big power hitters in today's game.
Here's Michael Harris, 1 for 6 in the series. Scott's made 2 prior starts against the Braves, and the guy who's hurt him the most is Harris, 4 for 5 with a home run against Christian.
He let him off with a breaking ball in the outside corner.
7 straight strikes for Scott to start the night. And make it 8 as he comes up and in with a cutter, and it's 0-2. That cutter has been a very big pitch for Scott against the lefties.
This one's out of the strike zone, and he chased Harris. Wow, look at the green shoes. It just doesn't match.
Well, it matches the sleeve he's got on his arm.
I wonder if Ron dressed him.
You saying because Ronnie's colorblind? Is that what you're implying? He's saying the green doesn't go with the blue and red color scheme of the Braves? Well, you might be right. But you know what? His nickname is Money Mike.
Yep.
And money, you know,
well,
green.
It's green is right.
That's 10 straight strikes for Scott.
And he's coming out throwing predominantly fastballs. He's only thrown 2 breaking balls thus far, and they've both been to Harris.
Ozzie Albies would be next. Baldwin at first with 2 out. And Harris hits a breaking ball on the ground. Semi into his left, spins around, throws him outside, retired. Christian Scott, 11 straight strikes to get the Braves.
You okay? I gotta lay low.
Reversing under the Brooklyn Bridge. On the starting lineup for the Mets in Game 2, Luis Robert will hit third. Tyrone Taylor up to 5th in the order, highest he's hit since September of 2024. As the Mets go with as many right-handed bats as possible against the veteran left-hander Chris Sale.
And there's Chris's numbers for the season. 2,713 strikeouts. That's 27th in Major League history in that order. 7th among left-handed pitchers.
Francisco Lindor takes a strike. Lindor has had great success against Sale. 41 career at-bats. He's hitting .390 with 2 home runs against Sale. Of course, they both began their careers playing in the American League Central. Sale with the White Sox and Lindor in Cleveland, so they got to face each other many times. Lindor, Bichette, and Roberts in the opening inning. A.J. Ewing sitting in the nightcap against the lefty. And a fastball strike, and it's 0-2. Chris Sale, 37 years old, and it's only the 2nd time he's ever pitched at Citi Field. First time was 2 years ago when he first came to the Braves. Went 7 1/3, allowed just 2 hits. Backdoor breaking ball is bounced foul.
This is his 7th career start against the Metsies. And he's unbeaten. 3-0 with an ERA sparkling 2.43.
Little gray in the beard. He's having one of the best seasons a 37-year-old pitcher has ever had. 2nd in the National League in ERA at 2.19. And that one's hooked foul down the left field line.
And your defense, your car shield defense, Brave defense, and that is Greg Baldwin will DH the first game. He'll be behind the plate. You see Matt Olson over there. A lot of 4-star generals, Garrett. And there's a major general and a brigadier general.
Did you mention the scoop?
Well, I didn't.
You missed the scoop.
I saw the scoop. I was more fixated on the stars.
3-time Gold Glover, Olson at first base. And Lindor got jammed, but it clicked off the bat, a foul ball. Only Jacob Mizorowski has a lower ERA than Sale. You saw the stat that Steve put up before the game about Sale having the highest strikeout per nine ratio in history. Well, Mizorowski, if he gets to 2,000 innings at the rate he's at, will eclipse Sale by a wide margin. But it's an interesting conversation about National League Cy Young honors because Sale has scored far more innings than Mizorowski, and they're going to slow Mizorowski down, as we saw when the Mets were in Milwaukee last week. Throwing 4 or 5 innings at a time now for at least the time being. 8th pitch of this opening at bat to Lindor with Bichette on deck. And the slider misses low and in, 2-2.
So he's very much aware that Lindor's had success off of him and with a couple home runs. So he's pitching him very carefully.
And he comes upstairs to get the strikeout at 98 miles an hour. And Sale wins the 9-pitch battle for the first out.
135th strikeout of the season. And it's 2,714th K of his career. He is something else. He came up the first 2 seasons of the White Sox scare as a reliever.
He's had his injury issues. 2024, though, he not only was the comeback player of the year, but won a Cy Young in his first season in Atlanta. Comes inside with a slider, ball 1. That slider's been devastating this year. The OPS against it is .470. It's the 6th best of any breaking ball in baseball this year, and it's always been his bread and butter.
Well, it's a big
fastball for a strike, 1-1 to Bichette.
Sorry, Garrett. It's a big pitch for him against left-handers. And he's more out of the John Candelaria mold. Larry McWilliams, I'm dating myself here. People that I faced. And they're no fun, these sidearmers. John Tudor.
And Bichette's going to challenge that strike call.
It's a ball. It's high.
And indeed it was. Manny Gonzalez is the home plate umpire, so he gets overruled. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Bichette. Luis Robert is sitting 3rd in the order on deck. And that one at the feet of Bichette. It's 3-1.
Well, pretty much like Sean Manaea. I'm sure Chris Sale, who's had such great success, right-handers only hitting .223 against him. He understands that his horizontal breaking ball, he's got to be careful against right-hand hitters with that pitch.
Fastball right there for a strike. Well, it was Sale who Manaea sought to emulate when he dropped his arm angle a couple of years ago. Sean pitched another fine game today. Gave up just 2 runs in 6 innings. And Bichette able to foul away a fastball to stay in the at-bat.
I don't know if you folks have noticed so far, just his first inning, he only had the second batter in his face. He had a lot of pitches he threw to get Lindor finally out in a strikeout. Notice against the right-handers, count at home how many times he throws that fastball in. He pitches inside.
And the fastball right there on the inside corner to get Bichette. So Sale's got back-to-back strikeouts to start the night.
This was a close pitch. This could have gone either way. Yeah, it missed. But you know what? It's too close to take. And the umpire gave him the call.
So 2 out and nobody on. And now Luis Robert sat in the first game of the doubleheader today. Robert's got a home run on his ledger and 5 career at-bats against Chris Sale. And a first pitch breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1.
He throws a little bit more of a down break to the right-handers, if you notice there. It's got a slight vertical drop.
Two straight sliders to Robert and an 0-2 count. Tried the backdoor of the slider that time, and it's 1-2.
You know, I've got a chance to watch Robert, and we didn't get a chance to really get a good look at him. He got hurt so early in the year. He's got a good swing. He's got a level swing there, and he's strong, and he's got a quick bat. He just chases too much.
Didn't chase that one. 4 straight sliders, and it's 2-2. Francisco Alvarez DHing in game 2 is on deck. So Sale has struck out the first 2, but he's thrown 20 pitches now to the 3 batters in the first inning. And he comes with a fastball and just missed. A full count.
That would have been a big out pitch right there. He threw that first strike.
So after throwing 4 straight sliders, he tried to surprise Robert. Did, but didn't get the pitch over the plate. Now full count. And a foul tip for strike 3, and so Sale strikes out the side of the opening inning. No score after 1.
Kids outgrow their clothes as fast as you buy.
Champion Mets reunite at Citi Field.
Ozzie Albies leads off the second against Christian Scott with no score. Albies 2 for 8 in this series. Homered on Monday night. And he pops the first pitch up behind second base. Lindor waving everybody away. 1 pitch and 1 out for Scott, who's now thrown 12 pitches, all strikes. He's halfway to the record, which is 24 straight strikes to start a game. George Kirby did that for the Mariners in 2022. That goes back as far as 1988. Mauricio Dubon playing left field in the nightcap. He played shortstop in the opener. 1 for 7 in the series. And there's the first one out of the strike zone from Scott.
He jinxed it. Gosh darn it, Gare.
I mean, really, we should just never say anything. If we stayed quiet, there'd be no jinxing. But we'd probably, lose our jobs. That's lined the other way and foul. 1-1 to Dubon.
Dubon with the funky back foot when he swings. Clemente did that a lot on breaking balls. And certainly recall the home run he hit off of Mike Cuellar in that. Was it the 70 World Series or 71? I forget.
71.
Yep.
70 was the Reds.
Yes. Reds got beat by the Orioles.
The Orioles' revenge after the Mets beat him the year before.
Correct.
Ground ball right back to Scott. Put it in his hip pocket. 2 out. Christian, after a leadoff hit by Baldwin, has retired 5 in a row.
And I mentioned the back foot. There's the high leg kick. Now watch the back foot. It's the darndest thing. Usually that's the anchor, your back foot.
Mike Yastrzemski, first start in the series. Came off the bench in game 1 today and popped up in his only at bat. Yastrzemski now 35 years old, had a really good year in Kansas City last year. Has struggled most of this season with the Braves. Curveball in for a strike from Scott. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is Christian's 3rd career start against the Braves. Faced them in Atlanta early July. Went 4 innings, allowed 3 runs and 2 hits. And ahead on Yastrzemski 1-2.
Yastrzemski likes to pull like his grandfather.
Grandfather was a Hall of Famer. I'll say the best players the Boston Red Sox have ever had. One-two coming, and he struck him out with high heat. Dominating inning for Christian Scott. That's his 2nd strikeout. No score.
It's the summer.
Be here this Saturday when the 1986 World Champion Mets reunite at Citi Field in a pregame ceremony presented by Ford. Get your tickets at Mets.com/1986 and plan to be in your seats by 3:30 p.m. Because otherwise Keith will be angry.
I haven't gotten the itinerary yet on that day.
Well, you'll need to be in your seats by 3:30.
Is that it?
That's all I know.
Well,
1-1 to Francisco Alvarez.
it's kind of cutting it close for a 4-10 start, huh?
Alvarez, OPS up to 791, highest it's been since April. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going. And he tops one in front of the plate. And Sale, former Gold Glover, 1 out.
Well, he comes out of the chute. He's the ace. They've lost 2 in a row here. And he came out full bore. Fastball inside. Got Lindor on a fastball away. Gets Robert up and in fastball. Aggressive pitching.
Here's Tyrone Taylor, who got cooled off in the first game of the doubleheader. Went 0 for 3. And takes curveball for a strike.
Boy, he's been hot. What a nice year he's had since coming off the IL. Just red hot.
And so moved up in the batting order today, hitting 5th. First time he's hit this high in the order since late in the 2024 season. Remember, he took over the center field job late that year from Harrison Bader and was the starting center fielder most of the postseason. He pops this one up on the infield, and they will converge toward the mound. Who wants it?
I got it. You take it.
Shortstop Jarvis, and he's got it 2 out.
Okay. Let's see how Sale pitches Simeon, who's all of a sudden hit a couple bombs, has 12 home runs on the year, likes that ball middle in.
And he's got great career numbers against Simeon. 3 home runs, 6 for 18. Now Marcus gets first pitch fastball, quick bat, and he fouled it back. Simeon had 2 at-bats off the bench in the afternoon game today. Went 0 for 2 after homering in 2 straight starts. Sales retired the first 5. And back towards the slider, in for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, he's good, isn't he? There's a reason why he's got all those powerful career numbers. It's fun to watch guys like this.
It's on a streak right now, Sale is, where he's given up 3 runs or fewer in 16 straight starts. That's the longest current streak in the majors. Mets hit him pretty hard the first time they faced him this year. July 4th in Atlanta. Got a couple of home runs against him. 3 runs in 5 innings. But he strikes out Simeon. Fan 4 of the first 6 now. Road ahead presented by Infinity. The Marlins are in for 4 starting tomorrow night. And the Mets go to Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Atlanta on their next road trip.
Russ made the road ahead.
Wish he could have smiled.
Wow. Russ, we miss you. Hope you're doing well.
Austin Riley leading off in the 3rd against Christian Scott. And he swings and misses at a fastball, and it's 1-1. Riley, in this series, has gone 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts.
It's just a mystery here how he's one of the best hitters with power. He just really falling on his, well, I don't want to say that in that term. Just collapsing almost. But still a fine glove at third base.
1-2 coming. Fastball got him looking. So Riley continues to pile up the strikeouts. That's 133 times he's fanned in 390 at bats. Scott's retired 7 straight, 3 strikeouts on the night. 1 out and nobody on, and now the rookie shortstop Jim Jarvis making his 20th start. Jarvis played the opening game of the series Monday night, went 0 for 3. It remains to be seen whether Jarvis is going to hit enough as he hits a 1-hopper to Lindor, but his defense looks like it's going to be top-notch. Great arm, terrific range. So 2 out and nobody on. Now Drake Baldwin, who hit Scott's first pitch of the game into left center for a base hit, and Christian's retired 8 in a row since. So here's Scott, who coming into the night had averaged 4.3 pitches per plate appearance this year. Through the first time through the order, he's averaged less than 3 pitches per plate appearance. And that's a huge step in the right direction.
I just feel the last 3 starts, he's just kind of come into his own.
You've got to get that number down in order to get deep into games. He's yet to complete 6 innings in any start this year. Was only able to go 3 2/3 his last time against Milwaukee. 0-2 coming, and it's inside. But he's filling the strike zone, and the Braves are a very aggressive team, and so that combination works well for him. Walt Weiss in his first season managing the Braves. Last year was the first time in 8 years that the Braves had not made the postseason in Brian Snitker's final season. This year the Braves got off to a rollicking start, and they've kind of staggered the last month and a half, but still 6 games up in the East. Curveball in the dirt, 2-2. The Braves go back even further than that. They have dominated the division. Of course, they've won 14 straight division titles starting in 1991. World champions in 2021. 2-2 coming, and Baldwin taps one slowly. Wagaman with the toss. Side retired. 9 in a row retired by Christian Scott. Still no score. With us.
Gary, the trade deadline, as everybody knows, 5 days away, and the Mets expected to be sellers in this market. And, we said to ourselves, wouldn't it be interesting to see how many times these trade deadline deals actually end up working out for sellers when you trade for prospects? And so what we did is we looked at the last 3 times the Mets were clear sellers, 2017, 2018, and 2023. They traded 14 major league players, and at the end of the day, the best player that they ended up getting back in terms of a major league career, at least to this point, was Drew Smith when they traded Lucas Duda for Drew Smith. And that's not a knock against Drew Smith. It's just the reality that many of these deals don't work out when you trade for prospects. It's not unique to the Mets. Baseball America just released a really interesting article where they looked at every year from 2015 through 2025. About 700 prospects have been traded in that time. Almost 70% of those prospects either didn't make the majors or have a 0 or negative WAR. So it is something worth thinking about, and certainly the front offices are well aware of this. I spoke to someone in the Mets front office. They said oftentimes these deals don't work out. You look at it almost as trying to get as many lottery picks as possible, because in the hopes that 1 or 2 of them end up really working out, then those can change your franchise. Because overall, it is a shot in the dark, no matter how much the projections say a prospect will be pretty good.
Well, I think the key is that if you're going to try and change your franchise in terms of your prospect depth, you've got to go for the best prospects out there. And that's what the Nats did when they traded Juan Soto. And they got an incredible haul of major league talent in James Wood and C.J. Abrams and Mackenzie Gore among the 5 players that they picked up. But that doesn't happen very often. Usually you get guys further down on the prospect list, and they are, as you said, lottery tickets.
And I do think that it is at least worth noting as well that, those statistics, when you talk about 700 prospects being traded, not all prospects are created equal, so a lot of those guys are probably even longer shots to begin with. But for me, the really interesting thing becomes, if you're the Mets front office right now, obviously the guys on expiring deals, there's no reason not to make those moves and take your shots. But if you are trying to compete next year, and the Mets really are, they are not one of these teams that is looking to rebuild long term, I think it throws into question just how much you're going to need if you're going to trade a guy, as Carson Bench singles down the left field line. But if you're going to trade a guy with control, whether that's a Luke Weaver, a Huascar Brazoban, or somebody like that, again, considering that next year they are truly planning on being competitive.
Carson Bench, who had the game-winning hit against the left-hander in the opening game today, gets the Mets' first hit against Chris Sale.
A really fine at bat as well. All fastballs that Sale poured on him, and then he threw him a breaking ball and got it up, and he went right with it.
Here's Eric Wagaman. First at bat in this series. His first start since July the 18th. Spent some time in the minor leagues in between. Brought back when Juan Soto got hurt. You know, Steve, if you look back a little bit further, probably the best prospect the Mets ever got in a trade, well, at least in the last 15 years, that's driven to center field. On comes Harris to grab it for the first out. Was when they traded Carlos Beltran to the Giants and got Zach Wheeler back. That was an enormously successful major leaguer prospect deal. And at the time, Wheeler was right at the top of the Giants prospect list. So that, I guess that's my point, is if you trade for elite prospects, it's different for just trading for a lottery ticket.
It absolutely is. One other thing I will say, though, and I have talked to front office people about this throughout the league, over the last number of years in that time, it's become harder and harder, I think, to make those types of trades because front offices think so similarly now. So the values are so even that, again, it can happen from time to time. And obviously the worst example for Mets fans, but the best example recently is probably the Pete Crow Armstrong deal. But it's harder now, I think, to make those deals than it's ever been because everybody thinks so similarly.
And I think rightly so, everybody hugs their best prospects because, you know, especially in an environment where the salary structure might change, it's as essential as ever, and maybe even more so, to hang on to players who are under control at relatively low salaries early in their career. And if you have guys at the top of your system who are ready to contribute, like the Mets have had this year with McClain and Thornton and Ewing and Benj, those players are even more valuable to most franchises than they've ever been. Torrens takes it high 2-2. So it's harder to pry them away. You have to have a really superb prize to trade in order to get one of those top prospects away.
Well, the farm systems, the guys that are in the farm system, the scouting, the farm directors, they take.
Bench runs. The throw by Baldwin is high, and Bench steals the base.
Interference. They're going to call interference. They're going to bring him back.
Yep. So Torrens.
They're bringing him back.
Would they call the interference on?
They're going to call it on the hitter.
If they called it on the hitter, then he'd be out because Torrens struck out. Umpire must have called it on himself. Oh, it's called accidental interference.
Yes, he's in the way, so he's already out. So the runner goes back. That is the proper call.
So negate the stolen base, 2 out, and now Lindor takes a breaking ball down for ball 1.
As I was saying, you know, our organizations, people that are involved in the minor leagues take pride in cultivating the young talent. They don't want to see their young. Whoa! Okay.
Gore loses his bat. The netting prevented it from sailing into the crowd.
There's nothing that's more prideful for an organization than to have a team that has homegrown talent that they've drafted, cultivated, and are successful on the big league level.
Well, I think that organizations understand that the more prospects you have in your organization, the better your future is, not only in terms of those prospects succeeding for you, but also the potential of trading them for major league talent that will help you as well. So it works both ways. You know, at the end of the day, all organizations care about and all fans care about is winning.
It's right out of the mantra of Al Davis of the Oakland Raiders. Just win, baby.
Yeah.
Win.
That's hit for shortstop, and Jarvis with a nice pickup on an offbeat hop gets the force play, and that retires the side after 3, no score.
After the play.
Second location.
Great. Let's dive back into your financials.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
4th inning, no score. Ronald Acuna leads off against Christian Scott and drills one foul deep down the left side.
Too quick. He got a hanger right there.
Acuna flied out his first time up, 1 for 8 in the series so far, coming off the injured list on Monday. And he reaches for that breaking ball and pops it up in foul ground. Wagaman hoping for a play, reaches out and makes the catch right before he hit the netting. Nicely done by Eric Wagaman.
Not an easy play because you just couldn't get to the barrier there in time. So you just got to be fearless.
Bit of breeze blowing that ball from left toward right. 10 in a row retired by Christian Scott. Now Matt Olson, who struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. So Scott got through the first 3 innings on 31 pitches, which is not only great for him, but it also ties the fewest by a man through the first 3 innings this season. So he has really turned it around in that regard early in this game. Olson pops one up. Bichette might have a play in foul ground. And he does. 2 out. 2 batters, 2 foul pop-ups, 2 quick outs for Scott.
Well, pounding the strike zone.
So 2 out and nobody on now. Michael Harris, who grounded out his first time up. 35 pitches, 28 strikes so far for Scott. Doing exactly what he needs to do. And Harris attacks the first one and fouls it off. This Braves team loves to swing the bat. They're 3rd from the bottom in the National League in walks. They hit a lot of home runs. They chase a lot. And Harris swings right through that fastball up and in. It's 0-2. See some of the numbers for the Braves. Highest average with runners in scoring position. They're very aggressive in those situations.
And 2nd in the big home runs.
Harris really epitomizes their team. Very high chase rate. Didn't go upstairs for that fastball, and it's 1-2. Two out and nobody on. And Harris takes a cutter inside. 2-2. Scott gave up a leadoff single to Drake Baldwin. Since then has retired 11 straight. And Harris just got a piece of that high hard one. The Braves scored 3 runs in the opening game of this series and then 2 this afternoon. The Mets have held them in check through the first 2 games. Harris fouls another one. That one knocked the mask right off Torrens. They have their Christmas in July promotion going on tonight. Mr. Met all dressed up for the holiday season. 7th pitch to Harris, and it's away. And a full count. Harris drew a walk in the first game of the doubleheader. That's a rarity. Santa, Mr. Met.
Oh, he's signing the goal.
Swing and a miss, and Harris down on strikes. 12 in a row for Christian Scott. No score.
Lower.
Bo Bichette will lead off for the Mets in the bottom of the 4th. He's starting to get very comfortable at third base. Take a look at some of the third basemen who played for these two franchises.
Yep. Everybody forgets about Eddie.
He was in the shadow of Hank Aaron, but Matthews was a great star in his own right. Ray Knight, the heart and soul of the '86 Mets. Bob Horner, who recently passed away.
Ocho.
30-30 man. Larry and David.
Eddie Matthews, part of the 500 club. 500 plus home runs.
Bo Bichette leads off and swings and misses at a first pitch slider from Chris Sale. Bichette took a cold third strike his first time up. Sale's retired 9 of the first 10. 5 strikeouts along the way. Pitchers duel so far with Sale and Scott. Now the breaking ball swung and missed, and quickly 0-2 on Bichette with Robert and Alvarez to follow in the fourth. The opening game of the doubleheader today, we had a scoreless game until the fifth, when the Mets finally got on the board. And that slider is hit out to left field, and Mauricio Dubon comes over toward the line. 1 out. On the majors, brought to you by Spectrum. Fewest innings pitched to reach 1,000 strikeouts among lefties. Derek Skubal got to 1,000 strikeouts today, a little bit faster than Chris Sale. There's Chapman and Wagner at the front of that list, mostly relief pitchers. Here's Luis Robert, who struck out his first time up and fouls back a first pitch fastball. Robert got a steady diet of sliders early in the at bat against Sale, and then he threw him 2 straight fastballs to strike him out. Chris Sale's last start was last Thursday against the Padres. And the Padres, against his slider, went 1 for 13 with 9 strikeouts. He did give up 3 runs in 6 innings. Wound up with a win in that game. And Robert hits one toward the hole on the backhand. Jarvis pulls off that terrific arm, and that's the second out.
Beautiful, beautiful backhand.
There's only one shortstop I can think of in the game right now with a better arm than Jim Jarvis, and that's Mason Wynn, the Cardinals. This kid's got a cannon. 2 out and nobody on now. Francisco Alvarez. We're going to come back for his first time up. Back to a slider, misses for ball 1. Alvarez 0 for 5 in his career against Sale. Sale matched up against Sean Manaea on the 4th of July in Atlanta. Braves bombarded the Mets that day 14-3. That's got 3 runs in 5 innings against Sale, but he got the win. And that one is on the corner.
Took a little off.
I think he called that a strike, right?
He did. It was a strike, too.
So it's 2-1 to Alvarez. Chase fastball away, and it's 2-2. Slender left-hander Chris Sale deals the 2-2, and it's lined to second, caught by Albies. That retires the side. One of the hardest hit balls for the Mets today, but Sale threw 4 innings scoreless.
Tomorrow, a divisional brawl at City.
Wandering around.
Why not?
Got anywhere to go. Astoria got all sorts of good restaurants in Astoria.
Mm-hmm.
I was just walking down the street with his pizza, very happy. Ozzie Albies leads off in the 5th inning against Christian Scott, who's been brilliant so far. 4 scoreless innings, 43 pitches through 4. He's retired the last 12. Albies popped up his first time up, and he fouls this one back 1-1. And Albies' first 5 plate appearances in this doubleheader, he saw a total of 9 pitches. He loves to go up there and swing the bat. Dubon and Yastrzemski behind him. He takes a cutter outside. It's 2-1.
That missed away, I think.
Oh, got it off the corner. So 2-1 becomes 1-2.
You should never go against Torrens.
When they do the defensive metrics for catchers, I wonder whether they'll start including their success rate at challenging.
They should.
And when they include framing and blocking and throwing and, you know, all the basics for catchers. And Torrens is the top-rated catcher in baseball according to the defensive runs saved. It's been a +12 this year.
Did you see the reaction after that pitch? That was Scott's best breaking ball he's thrown, and he just kind of grimaced because Albies got a piece of it.
Well, Albies is about as good as anybody at going out of the strike zone and fouling pitches off. It was nearly a fair ball that he just ran into. Torrens wanted the home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez to call it a fair ball, which would have meant Albies was out. Instead, all Gonzalez does is fix the divot. And again, he goes out of the strike zone and fouls one off.
I think Scott's kind of feeling that he kind of likes the feel of his breaking ball, that down breaking ball. He's thrown it 3 in a row. Don't fall in love with it. Go up the ladder right here.
And Ozzie tried to hold, and they say he did. Base umpire Brock Ballou gives him a pass, and it's 2-2.
It missed away too. Look how on top of the plate he is.
Could call that a swing. 8th pitch of the at bat is lined toward the middle, past Lindor into center field. A base hit for Albies. Albies hanging in there, fouling off some tough breaking balls, and gets the second Atlanta hit of the day. Albies has hit 24 career home runs against the Mets. He had 2 of them in this particular game in 2021. Helped the Braves to a 20-2 win that day.
Oh, that's a long time ago, though. There's a panda in the dugout.
Yeah, Sandoval. The panda. Slowly hit by Dubon. Lindor has to wait for it. Gets the out at second. No chance to turn the double play. So they get the 6-4 fielder's choice. Surprised Semien threw that ball. Veteran player. He knew he had no chance to get a double play.
And maybe working on his fundies. Lindor did a nice job closing on that ball quickly.
So Dubon is aboard with 1 out, and now Mike Yastrzemski, who struck out his first time up. Scott had retired 12 in a row before the Albies single. Yastrzemski takes splitter outside for ball 1.
That's a rare splitter that Scott has thrown.
It's a pitch he's only thrown 4% of the time this year. It serves as his changeup and something of a work in progress. Fastball knee high for a strike, and it's 1-1. See what the Tigers did yesterday? The Tigers, when their win over Baltimore in last night's game, scored in every inning and won 14-0. It was only the second time in modern baseball history that a team had scored in every inning and had a shutout.
Really?
The 1935 Pittsburgh Pirates against the Brooklyn Dodgers did that, and then the Tigers did it last night. And then today, With Skubal making maybe his last start for the Tigers, they blew a 7-0 lead and lost the game in 12 to the Orioles. That's ripped down the right field line, and that's a foul ball. Just missed an extra base hit. Two big comebacks this afternoon. The Orioles coming from 7 down to beat the Tigers, and the Marlins coming from 6 down to beat the Phillies 8-6.
Phillies are kind of in a funk, and
3-9 since the All-Star break.
What was it? The Marlins had lost 14 in a row, Gary?
12. And then
12?
They swept the Phillies.
Right. So they kind of come in here on a high.
In fact, this is interesting. The Marlins' last 7 series have all been sweeps. They've either swept or been swept 7 straight series. And they come in here tomorrow night.
4-game set.
Griffin Conine has really given them a lift. He had a serious hamstring injury in April. Missed 2 months. Dubon dancing off, and Scott heard the noise and stepped off.
Now remember, Antoine Richardson is the first base coach of the Braves here. That was kind of reminiscent of the Mets last year, stealing bases like that.
So Conine came back in June, and you know the Marlins were the best team in baseball in June. They won 20 and lost 6 before they stumbled here in July. And Conine had the game-winning home run today for them, so that's been a big piece for them. And then they have Otto Lopez, who leads the league in hitting.
Yep.
2-2 coming. Lifted foul. That's we'll see Yuri Perez tomorrow night. He's had a very nice year.
He's got a nice stuff. He's got a good hard sinker and a good slider. And here are the standings here.
The Marlins and the Nationals. 2 games out in the wild card.
You see the Phillies lost the last 8 out of 10.
Washington lost this afternoon. They were beaten by the Blue Jays and Trey Savage.
And Arizona
won this afternoon. Denied Eduardo Rodriguez, and they caught the Phillies. They're tied for the second wild card spot now with Philadelphia. So after all those quick at bats in the first 4 innings, Scott has had some long ones here in the 5th. An 8th pitch at bat with Albies, and now an 8th pitch coming up to Yastrzemski.
But he's throwing strikes, Gary. He's pounding the strike zone, going after hitters aggressively. I just love his advancement this year.
And Yastrzemski pops one up. This might be playable for Terens. Nope, in the stands. So little room behind home plate.
Now, if I recall, there wasn't a whole lot of room at Shea Stadium behind home plate, correct? There wasn't a lot of room.
I think it was closer than most of the older ballparks, but I think there was more room there than there is here.
Okay.
Yeah. Austin Riley waiting on deck. Again, the 2-2. And Yastrzemski fouls another one. So 9 pitches deep and still going.
And just keep the ball away from Yastrzemski. If you're going to come in, make sure you get it in and don't not down and in.
Pitch number 10. And Yastrzemski pulls that one just foul. That's 2 times in this at bat. He's hit the ball hard, fouled it off.
That was a splitter right there.
Dubon was dancing off the bag again on that last pitch. Scott with his hardest working inning by far. This will be his 20th pitch of the inning. And his 11th to Yastrzemski. And he struck him out. Finally got him with a high fastball. 5 strikeouts for Scott as he wins that 11th pitch duel.
Yep. 4-seamer.
So now Riley, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Trying a sweeper that missed low and in. Ball 1. Riley now 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts in this series.
He's just forgotten Riley, I should say. He's forgotten about right center field.
Riley's a 2-time All-Star who has seen his performance fall off the table. Pulls that one foul. He's seen his OPS, on base plus slugging, go down 5 straight years. To the point it's at now, just 636. That is not what you expected. Still in the prime of his career, but he just seems lost right now. 1-2 coming. Up and away with the breaking ball. 2-2. It's interesting because Walt Weiss had a chance to bat for him in the 9th inning against Devin Williams with a tying run on base. He had Dom Smith in the dugout, but he sent Riley up there. Figures Riley's going to play his way out of this. A foul off the right side.
I'm surprised that Dom was not in the lineup for this second game. He is their sole left-hand hitter on the bench.
Right, but if they're going to DH him, then they didn't want to play Acuna in the field both games.
Right. But you can always, no, you're not going to play Dom at first. Nope. That Olsen over there playing every day.
2-2. Swing got a miss. He struck him out with a cutter. 6 strikeouts for Scott. Riley's strikeout totals just keep growing. Northwell and the Amazing Mets Foundation are proud to partner up in support of the Sandlot Stars program. Here's a look at the impact of their baseball and softball equipment donations for the program.
In partnership with Northwell Health.
Taylor.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Beautiful night in the big city. No score. Tyrone Taylor leads off against Chris Sale in what has been a pitcher's duel so far. And Sale gets that first slider in for a strike. Taylor popped up his first time up. The Mets have had only one base runner, a leadoff single by Carson Benj in the 3rd.
Interesting. Nothing but breaking balls to Taylor so far in this 1 bat and a half, I guess you would call it. And then he likes to pop that fastball on the right-handers, Gary, to surprise him. Just to keep him honest.
2 balls and a strike to Taylor. Simeon and Benj to follow in the bottom of the 5th. That's broke the ice in the 5th inning in game 1 today. And Taylor takes a big rip at a high fastball, and it's 2-2. Chris Sale, 37 years old. Originally drafted by the White Sox, first rounder in 2010, coming out of Florida Gulf Coast University. Pitched in the same conference as a shortstop named Jacob deGrom, pitching for Stetson. In fact, deGrom hit his only college home run against Chris Sale.
And a left-hand hitter, deGrom. Right?
Yep. Sale, they say, when he was a freshman in high school, was 5'4" and 100 pounds.
I believe the 100 pounds.
He is one of those guys who eats more than anybody. I mean, he sits down and has the biggest meals possible, and he never gains an ounce.
Well, they got him listed as 6'6", Gary, 180 pounds.
Yeah, maybe 180.
So he grew an awful lot, didn't he? A foot.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming to Taylor. And Tyrone fouls back that fastball. 2024, his first year with the Braves. He won the pitching triple crown, most wins, most strikeouts, lowest ERA.
Yeah, 18 wins, Gary. 18-3, 2.38.
He won a Gold Glove that year as well. An outstanding fielder, although it cost him the following year. Remember, against the Mets, he made a dive for a ball on the infield, and he fractured a rib. That cost him a couple of months in 2025.
Yep. As I was looking, 7 times he's finished in the top 5 in the Cy Young Award voting. Won it once.
Full count to Taylor.
And if you want to add 8 times, he finished 6th one year. So it's quite something.
Pitch number 10 coming to Taylor. And he got him looking at a fastball. So Sale wins that battle. And that's 6 strikeouts for the lefty.
Fastball in.
So Scott had an 11-pitch strikeout of Yastrzemski. Now Sale has a 10-pitch strikeout of Taylor. And now Simeon, who struck out his first time up. Braves have 2 hits. The Mets have 1. And what has been a fascinating pitchers duel so far between Christian Scott and Chris Sale. It figures that on Christmas in July night we'd have Chris and Christian, and they'd both be having great nights on Christmas in July.
Where's the craft?
Mr. Met gets it. Fastball runs inside, a ball and a strike. All we need is an elf on the shelf. Simeon gets ahead of 1 and fouls it. Carson Benj, who has the lone hit for the Mets, waiting on deck. And Simeon tries to hold, but he went around strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Sale to start the 5th. He's got 7 for the night.
A lot of breaking balls to Simeon and Tyrone Taylor. Now let's see how he goes after Benj here, who really had a fine at bat. Had a base hit down the left field line.
Reached for a slider away and hit it off the end of the bat just past third. Takes a fastball for a strike. So Benj is 3 for 5 in the doubleheader today. He had the game-winning hit against the lefty Dylan Dodd in the 7th inning in Game 1. And then takes a fastball, strike 0-2.
Well, right after him, boom, boom, fastball knee-high outside corner. Then a come back with a fastball in inner half, but down.
Those are numbers that'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
10-time All-Star. As long as he's been healthy, he's been terrific. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out the side for the 2nd time tonight. 8 Ks for Sale. No score after 5. Mets young pitchers have been spot on. Zach Thornton got the win in the first game of the series. Scott has 5 scoreless innings tonight. Nolan McLean goes tomorrow night against the Marlins. And now Scott back to the mound for the 6th, trying to do something he's not done this year, and that is get through 6 innings. Jim Jarvis leading off for the Braves. Jarvis grounded out to short his first time up. Pounds that one into the ground on a cutter from Scott. It's 0-2. Through 5 innings, Sale has struck out 8. Scott has struck out 6. Teams have combined for just 3 singles through the first 5 innings. Scott bounces that curveball. 1-2. The Mets are 6-3 against the Braves by winning the first 2 of this series. If they can win tonight, they would clinch the season series from the Braves for the first time since 2017. Curveball line down the right field line, and Jarvis has himself an extra base hit. So Jim Jarvis, the number 9 hitter, leads off the 6th inning by pulling a double into the right field corner.
Well, Scott has been feeling good about this down breaking ball. And that one there, he left up. Just kind of a lazy break, and Jarvis takes advantage, and he can run as well, Joe. Good speed.
Well, the first extra base hit for either team, and now Drake Baldwin, who's 1 for 2 in this game.
Now, a game like this, all you kids at home watching, it's 0-0, tie ball game, 6th inning. It's late, getting late. Lead off double. You really got to make sure either you drive him in or advance the runner.
Swinging out of his socks on a curveball, and it's 1-1. Baldwin 4 for 10 in this series. There's been no sophomore jinx for Drake Baldwin. Last year's National League Rookie of the Year, having an even better year. Breaks his bat as he rolls it toward the hole. Lindor will not have a play, and the Braves have runners at first and third. That whole left side was open. Baldwin broke his bat and hit it in the right spot. And now the Braves have it set up first and third and nobody out.
No, Gary, how Jarvis never hesitated. Watch Jarvis. He broke. Know why he broke? What's the rule? The ball hit to the right. The ball's got to be hit to the left of the shortstop. But he knew where Lindor was playing defensively. I mean, that is just a very fortuitous hit right there. I mean, that is just a pitcher's pitch. But Jarvis knew that Lindor was playing up the middle and never hesitated to third base.
Mets have the infield back for 2. First and third, nobody out, and Acuna takes a fastball inside.
Good base running. Good heads up.
Acuna is flied out and fouled out over 2. So Scott finds his first real trouble of the night. He spins one in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Acuna 1 for 9 in this series, coming off the injured list. And he got tied up. That fastball caught the inside corner, and it's 1-2.
Good pitch.
That's the second time tonight that Scott has tied up Acuna in that manner. Spot where he could really use a strikeout. He's fan 6 tonight. Make it 7. He blew one past Acuna for the first time of the inning.
That is an impressive pitch sequence from Scott there. He needs 2 more outs.
Well, a double play can get him out of the inning. Matt Olson doesn't hit a lot of ground balls. Olson 0 for 2 in this game, 1 for 9 in the series, a 2-run homer this afternoon. Mets turned 3 ground ball double plays in each of the first 2 games of this series. First and third and 1 out. Wilson grounded into one of those double plays in the 8th inning this afternoon against Luke Weaver. Jarvis good speed at third. Baldwin not so much at first. And Wilson swings and misses at a fastball, and Scott coming right after him with a ball and a strike.
He's in trouble, and he's going to number 1. Keep that fastball above the belt.
Its bullpen starts to crank. 1-1 to Olson. And he gets that cutter in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Daniel Duarte and Jonathan Pintaro both up in the bullpen. Pintaro added today as the 27th man for the doubleheader. After striking out Acuna, Scott's ahead on Olson 1-2. Hit past the middle, base hit. And that'll bring in the first run of the game. Jarvis in to score. Baldwin to third. Matt Olson with a hot shot up the middle for an RBI single, and it's 1-0 Atlanta.
Just 1-2 count. Couldn't get the out pitch. It was a fastball. And up, and just, you got to give the hitter credit too. And Baldwin never hesitating, advancing to third.
Still 1-0 Atlanta. Runners still at first and third, and now Michael Harris, who would be a hard man to double up. Grounded out and struck out 0 for 2. Mets keep the infield back in double play depth. And he rockets one deep down the right field line. Hooking foul.
How many times have we seen Matt Olson get big hits? Not just the home run. He's really a clutch hitter.
0-1 to Harris. And that one sails away. Ball and a strike. So after Scott allowed just 2 singles through the first 5 innings, he's given up 3 hits to the first 4 batters in the 6th.
Big out right here.
Backdoor sweeper misses. 2 balls and a strike to Harris. Ozzie Albies the on-deck batter. Well, Scott cruised through the first 4. It took him 26 pitches to get through the 5th. And now the 6th has been a troublesome inning. Harris pops one up. Bichette coming in from third to call. That's a big second out. So now Ozzie Albies. Albies had a base hit to center field his last time up after an 8-pitch marathon.
And remember, last at bat, he got a base hit off that down breaking ball. That was the first time in that game, in his start for Scott, that he was feeling that breaking ball. And he threw one too many to Albies.
Starts him off with a fastball, and Torrent's going to challenge the ball 1 call.
It's going to be a strike.
And just nipped that outside corner.
Your tops. Your aces in my book.
It's 2 for 2 in tonight's game. One to Albies. 90th pitch of the night for Scott. Spins one inside, a ball and a strike. In his rookie year 2 years ago, he went as far as 6 2/3, but 5 2/3, where he's at right now, that's as far as he's gone this year. This is upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Braves have struck first here in the 6th, and now Scott trying to limit it to 1 run. And now that's high, and he's behind on Albies 3-1. Scott has not walked about it tonight. He struck out 7.
I know Olson doesn't not a swift runner, but I'd run him here.
This is only Scott's second 3-ball count of the night. And it's too high, ball 4. And so Albies is on with a walk, and it looks like maybe Scott will not be able to finish this 6th inning. Well, it's Justin Willard, the pitching coach, going out there. So they're going to get one more batter.
Reach back and look. This is your last guy. Show me something.
Duarte and Pintaro both ready in the bullpen. 1 in, bases loaded, 2 out. Mauricio Dubon coming up. Scott has 93 pitches. His high pitch count this year is 98. And 2 difficult innings in a row. He's thrown 50 pitches combined in the 5th and 6th. after throwing his 43 in the first 4 innings. So now Dubon has hit the ball on the ground twice and come back right on ground for short.
Side. Dubon likes to go in that direction.
Bases loaded, 2 down. And Dubon takes fastball strike, 0-1. Baldwin at third, Olson at second, Albies at first. Show me moment for Christian Scott. Sweeper off the plate, and it's 1-1.
I always felt that was a cardinal sin, that you got a pitcher in trouble, might be running on empty. Don't let him throw you a fastball first pitch to get ahead. If it's a fastball, cover it.
And that cutter just missed away, and now it's 2-1. Big pitch here for Christian. And he misses badly, and now it's 3-1.
Now he's really got to come with a heater here, Garrett.
Starting him off with a fastball, and then 3 straight with a wrinkle.
Question that last call, but
now he's behind Dubon, 3-1. In the air, center field. Robert has it lined up. He came after him with a fastball, got the fly ball. And Christian Scott gets through 6 for the first time this year, limiting the damage to 1 run. Christian Sale now staked to a 1-0 lead. Eric Wagaman leads the home 6th and takes a fastball outside. Wagaman lined out to center field in his first at bat for the Mets in a week and a half. Torrens and Lindor to follow against Sale in the 6th. Fastball inside, and Sale behind the count, 2-0. He hasn't walked the batter tonight. He struck out 8, allowed just 1 single. It was to Carson Bench leading off in the 3rd. He's retired 9 in a row since. And Wagaman swings through the fastball, 2-1. Sale started the night 2nd in the National League in ERA. Has bettered that tonight. 4 straight fastballs to Wagaman, and it's 2-2. 332nd career start for Chris Sale. (156 wins) and a lead tonight. Breaking ball lined into center field, and Wagaman has the Mets' 2nd hit of the night. So after 4 straight fastballs, he got right on that slider. And the Mets have a leadoff base runner in the 6th.
There's the strikeout package. Up and in. Inside to Bichette. Fastball, another fastball upstairs. Breaking balls to Simeon. And after a lot of breaking balls, Simeon again a lot of breaking balls. Blew away Bench there on fastballs. He's really been predominantly with the fastball, but boy, he's had a good breaker too.
Pitching decisions presented by Sage. Torrens swings at the first pitch and flies it out to Harris in center field. And that's the first out. So now Sale will start his 3rd time around the batting order. Francisco Lindor hit the ball hard his last time up, and Jarvis made a nice play.
So he's pitched Lindor very carefully the first 2 at-bats.
Lindor came into the night with great career numbers against Sale. It's up to date with his 0 for 2 tonight.
Hit the ball hard right at the shortstop his last at bat.
Takes fastball strike, and it's 1-1. runner past first base in this game. Braves have neither until this inning. Lindor fouls back a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, so Sale still at top velocity working in the 6th inning.
The good pitchers, Gary, this is right now the top of the order, runner on first base, or late in the game. You're protecting that lead, 1-run lead. You put a little something extra on that fastball.
The former Brave A.J. Minter up in the bullpen. 2-2 to Lindor with Bichette on deck, and that was 99 from Sale, his hardest pitch of the night. Nobody up behind Sale. He hasn't gone beyond 7 innings this year. 2-2 to Lindor. And the slider, did he stop the swing? He did. Oh boy, just barely. 3-2.
I thought that Manny Gonzalez was going to ring him up.
So you got the tying run at first, Wagaman. 3-2 with 1 out.
Can't run him.
Not going. And Lindor pops it up. Shallow right. In comes Yastrzemski. And that's the 2nd out. So it's left to Bichette. Bo has taken a called 3rd strike and fly to left 0-2. Bichette had 3 hits in the opening game of the series Monday night, but he's hitless so far in the doubleheader today. And takes a slider at his feet for ball 1. Christian Scott, getting through 6 innings for the first time this year, did well to limit the damage to 1 run. Now the Mets try to come back for him. And the slider runs inside. It's 2-1. A.J. Minter will be on for the Mets in the 7th with the lower 3rd of the order due up. And the fastball inside, 3-0. Would you give him the hit sign?
Yes, I would. I had to think on that one here.
Tying run at first and 2 out. 3-0 to Bichette. And he takes a strike. Here to have any inclination to swing.
It doesn't necessarily mean he had the hit sign. I mean, some hitters just don't feel comfortable 3-0, or you don't feel comfortable at that particular day, so you don't swing 3-0.
Luis Robert would be next. And Bichette shoots 1 foul. 3-2. So now Olsen will play behind Wagaman, who will be running on 3-2. And Bichette swings and misses at a fastball away. 99 from Chris Sale for his 9th strikeout of the night.
That's a champion.
Your local Chevy dealer.
SNY Play Ball presented by Toyota is back. Look to support local youth football leagues. If you know a league in need, apply today at sny.tv/playball. 7th inning, and the former Brave A.J. Minter in to face his former club. Eli White will bat for Mike Yastrzemski with the lefty in the game. And White takes fastball for a strike. White started the first game of the doubleheader, went 2 for 2 against Sean Manaea, whom he owns. Minter working in back of Christian Scott, who threw 97 pitches over 6 innings. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And Christian Scott through 15 starts now has an ERA of 2.99. Very impressive.
Yes.
And able to go 6 for the first time this year tonight. And extends his streak. He's now made 24 big league starts, and allowed 4 runs or fewer in every one of them.
Hey, well, you know something? There's always a bright side to a rough season. You give opportunity to the youngsters to get out there and play and prove themselves. And right now you've got Thornton, McLean, and Christian Scott, Benj, Ewing. They're all getting a chance to play and be a part.
Didier Fuentes, who pitched in the day game today, is up in the Braves bullpen. Fly ball out to right center, and Robert closing on it. 1 out. How often did you see guys these days pitching both ends of a doubleheader? But it looks like Fuentes is going to get the call. And then they would have Dylan Lee and Raisel Iglesias, their 8th and 9th inning guys, at the ready. They have not yet pitched in this series. Here's Austin Riley, who's been up twice and struck out both times. Minter pitching for the first time in 5 days. Last pitched last Friday against the Dodgers. Had a rough outing. He's had a couple of rough outings recently. Gave up a 2-run homer to Kyle Tucker that last time out. Minter spent 8 years with the Braves. He had some dominant seasons for Atlanta. Came to the Mets last year, got hurt early in the season, missed 13 months, but has been very solid since coming back until very recently. And of course, you know, this time of year recently, it matters a lot because a guy like Minter is a free agent at the end of the year. Certainly a guy who other teams are looking at.
Everybody wants bullpen help.
Riley leans back from that fastball, and it's 3-1. Riley in this series 0 for 9 with 7 strikeouts. Jim Jarvis, left-hand hitter, waiting on deck. And Minter comes inside, and it hit Riley, I think.
He's asking for help.
They're saying it hit him on the arm. So it's a hit by pitch, putting Riley aboard.
Why would he ask for help if it hit him here?
Would have been ball 4 anyway. Well, he might have swung. If that's the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did not swing. If he swings, then it negates the hit by pitch.
Yeah, I should have known better.
So 1 out and 1 on. And now Jarvis, who started the 6th inning with a double against Christian Scott and has scored the game's only run, now facing the left-hander. And there goes Riley. The throw to second by Torrens, and Riley is safe as the ball came free.
And no call from the ump. I guess he figured with the ball running loose, it's an obvious call, but.
So Riley picks up his 7th stolen base of the year.
Now that is a veteran stolen base right there. Took a chance, tight ball game, get in scoring position.
Or never quite could secure that ball. Jarvis takes cutter for a strike.
That ball was high. You can go ahead and challenge, youngster.
Each team has both of their challenges remaining. And Jarvis pops one foul. He'll go out of play, and it's 1-2. Northwell Health has partnered with the Amazing Mets Foundation in support of the Sandlot Stars program, dedicated to driving access to youth baseball, softball, and t-ball throughout New York. Northwell Health, Raise Health. Minter ahead 1-2 on the rookie shortstop, and he struck him out with a cutter. So Minter has his first strikeout, 2 out in the inning. And now we get another left-hand hitter in Drake Baldwin.
Baldwin hits lefties well. He is tough out. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
5 for 11 in this series. And he takes first cutter outside for ball 1. Baldwin now up to 283 on the year with an 859 OPS. He is a rising star in this game. Cutter caught the inside edge, and it's 1-1.
You know, Gary, if I was up in this situation, and you've got Minter, and we've seen enough of Minter over the years as a Brave, as a Met, he loves his cutter. So I would be sitting on the outer half of the plate, pitch out there, fastball, breaking ball, and going up the middle. If he pops me inside, take it. But I've always felt that if I'm going to get 5 pitches from Minter, I would say pretty good chance 3 to 4 are going to be the cutter away.
And Baldwin holds the swing on a cutter away, and now it's 3-1. Ronald Acuna waiting on deck. This is the guy Minter wants to get. But behind in the count, 3-1. And he swings through the fastball, and now it's 3-2. So after all those cutters, Minter threw him a four-seamer.
Four-seamer away here.
Riley at second with 2 down. 1-0 Atlanta, 7th inning. 3-2 to Drake Baldwin. Nobody covering.
Acuna shouldn't be chatting it up down there with a fan on the front row. It's a 1-0 ball game here. This is stretch run time. We're getting into August.
3-2. Fouled away. Enter 20 pitches deep into this 7th inning. Trying to put away Baldwin. Half swing, did he go? He went around, strike 3.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Minter with back-to-back strikeouts of Jarvis and Baldwin to get through the top of the 7th. Still 1-0. Drake Baldwin called out on a check swing by the third base umpire Brock Ballou.
I don't think he swung here. Not even close. That is a bad call, an unfortunate call for the Mets. And Minter. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, you're wrong.
Didier Fuentes will pitch for the 2nd time today. Luis Robert leads off in the bottom of the 7th. Swings and misses at a high fastball. Fuentes faced 3 batters this afternoon through 10 pitches, a walk, a pop-up, and a strikeout, and back for more tonight. I mean, it used to be fairly common for relievers to work in both games of a doubleheader. I mean, there aren't that many doubleheaders anymore, but can't imagine that too many guys have gone in both games recently. Eli White, after pinch hitting, stays in right field. Robert, Alvarez, and Taylor, 3 right-hand batters due up in the inning. That's plenty of left-handed bench. Ewing, Beatty, Young, Polanco. Swing and a miss, and Fuentes on 3 pitches strikes out Robert, throwing 100.
Boy, just overmatched Robert right there. Not going to catch up to this ball. Up, out of the strike zone.
Alvarez, who hit the ball hard his last time up, lined out to the second baseman. Chris Sale, 94 pitches in 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts. He was vintage Sale. And Fuentes picks the outside corner, 0-1. So Sale, with the 6 scoreless innings, lowered his ERA to 2.08, second in the National League behind Jacob Mizorowski. Sale is in line for his 12th win of the year if the Braves bullpen can get 8 more outs with the lead. Alvarez chases an upstairs fastball, and it's 1-2. Mets have seen El Perez up in the bullpen. Braves have their lefty Dylan Lee up in the bullpen.
I mean, Fuentes is just rushing it up there, Garrett. There's no fooling around.
I guess there's no impact of him having pitched
rubber arm
6 hours ago.
Rubber arm, we used to call him.
Good on him. 1-2 coming. And he struck him out with a slider. So back-to-back strikeouts for Fuentes. 2 down in the 7th.
2 overmatches. 1-2, boom, boom. Robert now Alvarez. That is a wicked slider.
Taylor is 0 for 2, popped up and struck out against Sale. He takes a slider outside.
Well, here's the strikeout slider, and it's not a strike. Look how far he missed it, because the ball was around 7 inches, 9 inches outside, but it started out as a strike.
And that fastball misses low, 2-0. So we found at least one other instance this year of a pitcher pitching in both ends of a doubleheader. Chase Shugart did it for the Phillies, and not only did he pitch in both games of a doubleheader against the Giants in April, he got the win in both games.
Really?
There's only 2 wins this year. They came on the same day. 3-0 now to Taylor. Simeon on deck. Taylor's been red hot, but taking 3-1. Taylor with 6 home runs since coming off the injured list in just 44 at bats. 3-2.
He's running it up there, boy. He's not fooling around.
Sale struck out the side twice tonight. Now Fuentes with a chance. And Taylor is caught looking. He's going to challenge the call.
It's borderline.
He thought the pitch was outside.
It's a borderline pitch.
And it was a ball. So Taylor draws the one. So another successful challenge for the Mets. They're 4 out of 4 in this game. That puts the tying run on base for Simeon. Connor Rogers, Joe DeMeo, and SNY MLB insider Chelsea James have all the news, notes, and rumors as the Mets head toward the trade deadline on the latest episode of the Mets Pod. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Simeon's been up twice, struck out twice against Sale, and he fouls back a first pitch fastball from Fuentes. Taylor at first, carrying the tying run. 2 out in the 7th. And Simeon chases a slider that was 2 feet outside. 0-2.
Boy, he's sitting on a fastball, wasn't he?
Mets have already struck out 11 times in this game. And Simeon strikes out for the 3rd time. Fuentes fans 3 in the inning. 1-0 Braves after 7.
Post-game show on the way. Go to take a look at both starting pitchers who were really good tonight.
They were, and Christian Scott showed me something. I'm going to show you guys.
All right, see you guys coming up. Mercedes-Benz post-game live when you're finished out at the ballpark. Garrett.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Those young ladies enjoying their night at the ballpark.
Oh, they're so cute. What, does something smell?
We're going to the 8th inning. Cionel Perez on to pitch for the Mets. Last pitch Sunday against the Dodgers. 6 up and 6 down. Ronald Acuna leads off in the 8th for the Braves and swings and misses at his first fastball. 0-1. Acuna 0 for 3 in this game. 1 for 10 in the series. Olsen and Harris, 2 left-hand hitters to follow. That's why Perez is in the game. Another fastball that he swings over, and it's 0-2. Boy. A.J. Minter worked a hitless 7th after Christian Scott went the first 6. shaking his head, stomping around the mound. I think he was a little unhappy with his landing area.
Well, if Acuna doesn't swing the bat, it's 2-0.
Well, you can see Acuna's timing's a little bit off.
Oh, sure. He's been out for a while. Either you come out hot or it takes a while.
And then he loops that one into shallow right. On comes Bench diving. And he made the catch. Splendiferous play by Carson Bench for the first out.
Let's have a look here. He sure did. What a nice play.
Yeah, that ball had very little air under it, and he had to come in an awful hurry. Seeing Perez, the happiest guy in the building. So 1 out now. Matt Olson, who's driven in the only run of this game, and he takes curveball for a strike.
Well, he got a good jump coming in, and here's the catch. Yep, that's leather, not grass.
Half swing, and he went around, and it's 0-2. Olson singled up the middle to drive in Jim Jarvis with the only run of this game in the 6th. That's when Christian Scott did his best work, leaving the bases loaded in that 6th inning and keeping the Mets right there. Dylan Lee is up in the Atlanta bullpen. He's ready to pitch the bottom of the 8th. 0-2 coming to Olson, and the curveball outside. 1-2. Michael Harris on deck. One-two from Perez. And this is away with the fastball. The Braves have only scored 6 runs in this series. 3 runs on Monday, 2 this afternoon, and 1 tonight. Trying to get out of here with a win after the Mets won the first 2 games.
Yeah, and pick up a half game on Philly.
2-2 coming. Away with the fastball. 3-2. Braves started out the day with a 6-game lead over the Phillies, who lost this afternoon. They still have a 6-game lead. Great start can win you a lot of time later on. 3-2. Now back. Seventh pitch of the at-bat from Perez, and Olson fouls that one off. Clay Holmes is back with the Mets. He pitched last night in St. Lucie. With 4 innings and a rehab start. 59 pitches. The likelihood is that Clay's next start will be in the major leagues. The question is, will it be in a Mets uniform or for somebody else?
What is today's date? The 29th?
5 days to the trading deadline. He could pitch Sunday as a Met and then get traded. That's possible.
I think he's going to be in the orange and blue.
9th pitch of the at-bat, and Olson takes it for call, strike, drink. I'm looking at a fastball at the knees. That's 10 strikeouts for Met pitchers today, 2 down in the 8th. Here's your Audi game-changing drive. It's Olson's base it up the middle to plate the game's only run. Now Michael Harris, who's 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 9 in this series. Braves 1 run and 5 hits. The Mets no runs and 2 hits. And Harris takes curveball outside for ball 1. Mets will have the lower third of their order due up in the 8th. With Dylan Lee ready to go in the Braves bullpen. And Harris takes the curveball for a strike, and it's 1-1. Harris has been so impressive. Three scoreless innings in the Dodgers series. And he gets himself a ground ball for a 1-2-3 inning tonight. To the bottom of the 8th. That's down 1-0. The arch at Washington Square Park looking south.
Nice.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Mets down 1-0. Dylan Lee is in to pitch for the Braves. Carson Bench leads off for the Mets. And Bench flies one to deep center field. Back goes Harris to the warning track. And he's got room to make the catch.
Yeah, he kind of deeped a little bit there. I thought Carson got a little bit towards the end of the bat, let's say, more precise.
So 1 pitch and 1 out for Lee. And now Eric Wagman, who has one of the 2-man hits, a single to center his last time up.
I'd like to see Wagman get a little more playing time, get platoon Young and Eric at first base.
First pitch, slider from Lee, 0-1.
Wagman is not used to being a bench player and spot playing. It's not an easy job, but he's got some pop from the right side.
Change-up from Lee, and he gets ahead on Wagman, 1-2.
Good pitch.
Lee's been the setup man this year for Raisel Iglesias. They had Robert Suarez also setting games up, but Suarez has been on the injured list now for more than a month, and doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon. And that's made Lee even more important.
That's really kind of hurt them in their bullpen, obviously. You lose a late back end of your bullpen component. That's tough to replace.
Half swing and dribbles in front of the plate, and Baldwin makes the play for the second out. So Lee has set down the first 2. And now Luis Torrens. Torrens has struck out and flied out on 2.
It's a very deceptive .221 batting average. Luis is been a good player.
Swings and misses at a first pitch slider, 0-1. He throws a lot of sliders, over 50% of the time. Grissel, 6 scoreless innings. Didier Fuentes, a hitless 7th. And now a ground ball from Torrens on the backhand for Jarvis. His throw is true, and Lee has a 1-2-3-8. On to the 9th we go. 1-0 Atlanta.
Summer's here, and right now.
Tonight, keep it tuned for Honda Sports Night. All the latest on the trade rumors and all the training camp news. Honda Sports Night tonight and every night on SNY. Daniel Duarte has been nothing short of spectacular since coming to the Mets. Will pitch in the top of the 9th. Ozzie Albies leads it off. Mets took a flyer on Duarte after he had Tommy John surgery. He had had some big league time in Cincinnati and Minnesota, but missed all of last year. And the Mets signed him coming off Tommy John. And after spending 3 months in the minor leagues, he's been just fabulous.
He has. He's got a strong legs, strong lower body. He gets very powerful.
10 1/3, scoreless, 2 hits, 2 walks. Albies 1 for 2 and a walk in this game. And he fouls back the fastball. Mets have gotten great pitching all day today. Sean Manaea, 6-inning start in the first game, gave up 2 runs. Brazoban, Weaver, and Williams finished that one up. Christian Scott allowed just 1 run over 6 innings in the nightcap. And Minter and Perez each with a hitless inning. And now Duarte trying to keep it a 1-run game before Raisel Iglesias faces the Mets in the bottom of the 9th. Mets will have the top of the batting order coming up with Lindor, Bichette, and Robert. And Albies takes fastball high, 1-2. Mauricio Dubon on deck, and then Eli White for the Braves in the 9th. And there is Iglesias. The Mets handed him his first blown save of the year in Atlanta in the last series. Changeup blown away, 2-2 to Albies. Duarte, 29 years old, native of Mexico. 2-2 coming. Fouls off that fastball. Albies with another long at bat. He had a long at bat against Scott in the 5th inning. It resulted in the Braves' second hit. That was an 8-pitch at bat, and he'll get an 8th pitch in this at bat as well. 2-2 coming to Albies. And fastball away, 3-2. Cubs and Cardinals are in the 7th inning tonight with no score. Matthew Boyd for Chicago and Dustin May for the Cardinals. Swing and a miss. Good slide him with the sweeper. And Duarte has a strikeout to start the top of the 9th.
That was a hard slider. That had some bite.
A sharp left turn.
Oof.
That's 11 strikeouts for Met pitchers tonight. 1 down. And now Mauricio Dubon, who's 0 for 3 in this game, 1 for 10 in the series. And that sweeper on the outside corner, 0-1. The Marlins are here tomorrow night. Nolan McClain gets the ball for the Mets against Yuri Perez. Start of a 4-game series with the Mercurial Marlins. Best team in baseball in June, 20-6. 12-game losing streak stopped in their just completed series against the Phillies, which they wind up sweeping. Coming from behind in the first game and coming from 6 runs down today. 1-2 to Dubon. Their best pitcher has been Max Meyer, but he's hurt right now, so the Mets will not see him. 1-2 coming. And Dubon takes the fastball down, 2-2. Eli White, the on-deck batter. And Dubon pokes one foul.
There's that back foot. That was a real extreme. I mean, look at this is extreme. Watch the back foot. I just don't know how you can hit with that.
But especially if it slides out like that.
I wonder who taught him that. Because it had to come from somewhere.
I don't think that's anything you teach, Keith.
I mean, it would be something that would say, hey, don't do that. You're a little leaguer. Don't. Anchor that back foot.
Second straight full count for Duarte. 3-2 to Dubon. And he pokes one into left field for a base hit. And Dubon went down and got that cutter and serves one into left for a 1-out single. Just the 6th Atlanta hit of the game.
Well, the back foot works. It's just I just love all the different little idiosyncrasies. Was that the right word? Or differences that the quirks and some hitters have, or pitchers, the unorthodox.
Eccentricities. A little dribbler by White. You can put that in your pocket. White so fast there was no way that they were going to throw him out. So he's got an infield single, and the Braves have 2 men on.
And the struggling Austin Riley.
Justin Willard will go out and talk to Duarte, who had given up only 2 hits in 10 of third innings coming in, but given up back-to-back hits here in the ninth. And now he'll deal with Riley with 2 men on. Oh, we have a trade. The Long Island native catcher Logan O'Hoppe goes from the Angels to Texas for reliever Chase Silseth.
That's not earth-shattering, is it?
Oh no, Texas gets Silseth and O'Hoppe from the Angels. Sorry, Dave Sandwright.
It's not earth-shattering.
Yes. Well, O'Hoppe's he's a Long Island kid, so people care about him.
Okay.
He was been hurt, but showing the signs of stardom. Texas sitting in first place in the AL West despite being just 3 games over 500. So here's Riley, who has struck out twice and been hit by a pitch in this game, looking for his first hit in this series. And he swings through a fastball, 0-1. Bond at second, White at first. Good speed out there for the Braves. And he tries to hold the swing, takes the cutter for a strike, and it's 0-2.
He's really flying out that front shoulder.
Raley is up in the Mets bullpen in case Duarte needs help here in the ninth. 0-2 to Riley with Jarvis on deck. And that cutter rolling away, a ball and 2 strikes. Jonathan Pintaro up alongside Raley. 1-2 to Riley. And slider outside. 2-2. That's got a scoreless inning apiece from Minter and Perez to keep the Mets within 1 run. And now Duarte trying to do the same. A lot of shakes.
Yes, it is.
Shake, shake, shake. And Riley gets one off the fists of foul ball.
That is now going to be followed by something away, probably his breaking ball.
Again, the 2-2. And Riley chases for strike 3. Second strikeout for Duarte, 2 out in the inning.
But it's just shocking to see Riley struggling so mightily.
Now 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts in this series. Tonight Duarte faces the number 9 hitter Jim Jarvis, who doubled and scored the only run of this game in the 6th. 2 on and 2 out. And Jarvis takes a cutter for a strike, 0-1. Jarvis starting just his 20th big league game. He's 25 years old, out of the University of Alabama. Sweeper misses down, a ball and a strike. Duarte staying in to face this left-hand hitter, but if he gets aboard, we'll probably see Raley to face Baldwin. Jarvis flies one out to center. Should be easy for Luis Robert. And so Duarte puts up a 0, and the Mets will come up in the bottom of the ninth against Raisel Iglesias with the top of the order.
That's the Lunchables effect.
Last of the ninth. Mets only have one 1-0 loss this year. That came back in April against the A's. They'll try and rally in the bottom of the ninth with the top of the batting order. Francisco Lindor to lead off against Raisel Iglesias. 36-year-old has 274 big league saves, 21 this year. And Lindor takes his first changeup at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Lindor 4 for 14 in his career against Iglesias, who likes to work quickly and quickly gets ahead with 2 changeups. And it's 0-2 to Lindor. That is his money pitch. Mets handed him a blown save in the trip to Atlanta. Lindor pops one up on the left side. Riley takes charge of it. And on 3 changeups, Iglesias has the first out in the bottom of the ninth. 3 good ones. That's 5 walk-off wins this year. The last one came May the 29th against Miami, and Sean Manaea has his rally cap going, hoping for another one. Here's Bichette, who's 0 for 3 in this game, and Bo bounces one foul. He got a first pitch fastball to hit. Mets have had only 2 hits in this game. Leadoff single by Benj in the 3rd, leadoff single by Wagaman in the 6th. And Bichette flies one toward the left field line. Over comes Dubon. And quickly there are 2 out. So the Mets are down to their final out of the night. Their 3-game winning streak in jeopardy. Luis Robert is 0 for 3 in this game. Robert is 1 for 7 in his career against Iglesias. He's throwing 5 pitches to get 2 outs, and now he throws a 6th pitch, which is fouled back, and this one will go out of play. Tomorrow night, Mets and Marlins. Nolan McLean on the mound. 6:30 coverage, 7:10 first pitch. Robert flies one foul, and the Mets are down to their final strike.
I haven't seen Iglesias so coming after hitters and throwing strikes like this appearance. It's like they sense that this is they don't want to get swept.
That's driven out to left field. Over comes Dubon toward the line. And the Braves get a split of the doubleheader and salvage the final game of the series. The Mets are shut out for the 10th time this year as Chris Sale and 3 relievers combine on a 2-hitter. And the Braves win it 1-0.
Well, Christian Scott actually threw a fine ball game, and there's no doubt about it. He gets the loss. 6 innings, first time he's gone 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. But this is why you have aces, and Chris Sale is an ace. He won a big ball game for this ball club with the Phillies losing his 12th win, and he's 12-6 on the year. 6 shutout innings, and the Braves bullpen closes the door.
Sale lowers his ERA for the year to 2.08. Christian Scott was almost as good. He lowered his ERA to 2.99. A lot to be proud of for Christian in this game, going 6 for the first time this year. But the Mets' 3-game winning streak comes to an end as the Braves get a split of the long day as they win this one 1-0. We'll come back with more from Citi Field in just a moment.
Dealer.
New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com. By Citizens, make sense of your money with Citizens. By Bet365, where winning is everything. And by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, deals so right they almost feel wrong, only at your local Hyundai dealer. Final score of the nightcap, the Braves 1, the Mets nothing. Mets win 2 out of 3 in the series. Now they welcome in the Marlins tomorrow night. Nolan McLean against Yuri Perez in the first of a 4-game series. Coverage at 6:30. First pitch at 7:10 tomorrow, right here on SNY. Now for Keith Hernandez, Steve Gelbs, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. After the break, it's Mercedes-Benz postgame live with Gary Apple and Todd Zeal.